Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is a video that I've not done for ages and I'm really excited to film it and wonder if you can guess. It's my recent favourite, so if you want to see the stuff that I've been loving then keep watching. So I tried to set it up and make it look autumnal. There's a little thing on my telly there, which is fab by the way. If you don't know how to do it, if you've got like a smart TV, which I'm garnering that most of us probably will have in some way, shape or form these days, you can go onto YouTube via TV, or you can even like cast it from your phone using Bluetooth and stuff. And if you just search for like fall or autumn television backgrounds, loads will come up, and this one is really cute. In fact, let's turn you, it's like a little coffee shop with leaves falling, and that's pretty much all it does, to be honest, but it's very sweet. Sorry, I just had to adjust the lighting for a second because this camera is so temperamental. It's why I ended up it was one of the reasons why I didn't vlog as much for a while. The main one was obviously my mental health. I was really struggling, particularly with being online, and on YouTube that was the worst for me in terms of, you know, anyway. But the other reason was that it's just, if you're sitting down and it can see you at all times like this, it's fine, but if you move out of shot, the lighting goes off. It is so shaky even when you zoom in or have it on active mode, and it drives me crazy. So now I have the little DJI one, which is the one that I use when I film, like when I'm out and about and stuff like that. I much prefer that just for getting around with stuff. But where was I? Obviously not here to talk about TV backgrounds or cameras. I'm assuming if you're still watching you want to hear what my favourites are, so we're going to jump right into it. I think we're going to start with beauty and skincare because that's one of like my biggest passions. So a bit of backstory on the first two favourites. I, for a while, had gotten to like this sweet spot with my skin. I always wondered, is it just because I'm getting older? But I don't think it was. I think I just found a combination of products that were really working for me. And I feel like at the age of 37, in fact I'm nearly 38, I'm 38 in January, I feel like I've not had like any aesthetic cosmetic procedures done like that. I've not had like Botox or filler or anything like that. Everything on my face is just skincare and makeup, and I'm really pleased with the results. But I had great skin up until I would say about May this year, where something just went really out of kilter and I didn't really understand what it was. Like I was getting a lot more spots than usual. My skin was irritated in parts. I think it was something to do with like my skin barrier, and then it just got progressively worse, where we're talking, I would say July and August in particular, my skin was so bad and the spots were really sore and painful, and they would really swell up on my face, and I was getting like clusters of them in places that aren't necessarily where I would typically get spots. And obviously that was exacerbated by like my hormones that time of the month. But what I will say right now, before I show you what they are, I am due on in the next 3 or 4 days. I would say it'll come, hopefully, if it's on time. Sometimes she likes to fuck with me, what can I say? But normally like my skin would have pretty rubbish breakouts, but at the moment she's doing really well, which is just like a testament to how much better my skin is doing. And I think the biggest issue for me was that I felt like at some point I damaged my skin barrier, and that could have been the reintroduction of like more sun. Obviously I use actives, and I do use like SPF and stuff, but I don't know what happened. I think something just at some point just went out of kilter. But then it got to a point where I was just like, right, I'm gonna message my like, so basically with Skin and Me, which is one of my favorites, you have like a prescriber, I suppose, and you all get, you take the quiz, you send in photos of your face, you talk about your problems initially, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have worked with them in the past, but I've been a paying customer now for like a good few years. And so in the past I've messaged about when I've had perioral dermatitis, which is like a dryness and sore area around the nose typically, and they help with my prescription to that. So I was kind of like, right, maybe they can help with what's going on here, because in my head I thought, because I already have tretinoin as part of my prescription, which is great for dealing with like anti-aging and also like, you know, acne and spots and stuff like that, I thought that there wouldn't be anything else that I could do. But I sent photos of my face and straight away they prescribed me something. They took out I think it was niacinamide, and they added clindamycin, which was like an antibacterial sort of, it has antibacterial properties in some which way. And then I've also got azelaic acid, and within like, I would probably say about 3 or 4 days of using it, the spots that I did have on my face were so much more reduced and less angry. And since then, I've not had like another breakout. But the other thing that I've used, because I started that and I also went away on holiday, so the sun in some effect will have helped, but I have to really keep on it with my SPF and stuff like that. And then in the evenings I was using this, which I've never ever tried before, and I got it at Boots with the kids just before we went away as like a last-ditched attempt, like take something with me that would be really rich and nourishing for my skin but not too heavy. And this is the Cetaphil moisturizing lotion. They also do a cream which comes in like a smaller bottle and is thicker, but I went for the lotion, and it's for normal to dry sensitive skin. It instantly soothes and protects skin from dryness for 48 hours. It has niacinamide in it actually, avocado oil, panthenol and vitamin E. And this combo has been so good for my skin since then. This was so popular on holiday that the whole family was using it after we'd been out in the sun, and Mark was converted to it to the point where by the time we come home I had to order another one because it's pretty much gone. But I've been loving it, and I put it on every morning and every night, and I'm so passionate about like skincare and sharing stuff with people. I just think like if your skin feels good, everything else just goes on better, like you feel more confident, your makeup goes on more easily, and it's just such a good feeling. But those two collectively have been so good for me, and I honestly can't rave about them enough. Now on to beauty. I've got 3 favourites, one of which I think I've mentioned before, but it's just occurred to me I've not really worn anything else on my lips for probably about 4 months. It's literally my go-to. It's my go-to during the day. It's my go-to at night, although like maybe I'll zhuzh it up with a bit of like extra lip liner or go on with a double layer, that kind of thing. But I love it that much. And when I was thinking, I was picking bits out of my makeup bag and I was thinking, no, I'm going to talk about it again because I'm obsessed with it. And if you follow me regularly, you'll already know that I'm talking about the Sashi lip liner stain. It's one of those where they're being cool, and instead of writing stain as you'd spell it, it's stay -n, because we're hip and cool like that. I have P inked, which is pinked, but again it's P-inked, play on words there because it's an ink consistency. But it's one of those where if you see me, I don't know what is wrong with me today, if you see me put it on and it looks like I'm having like a bit of a goth era, very 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 dark, blacky purpley red, and then you peel it off and it leaves a stain. And what I like to do once I've peeled it off is to just get a little baby wipe and I kind of like just clean up my mouth a little bit. I do like a line here, and then I do a little V in the middle to kind of, you know, plump it up. I've got fucking hell. The stills from this video are going to be so attractive. But this is my 3rd, I think it is now that I've had, yeah, I think it is my 3rd or 4th tube. It could be my 4th. And I absolutely love it. And I've not felt the desire to try anything else. I just think it's so good. Does it last all day? I think probably. I think the best thing with it is that when you apply it, I would lay off drinking for about like half an hour to an hour just to give it a chance to sort of set. Because I do find that it is a little bit more sensitive to like liquids in the first hour or something, but then after that jobs are good, and like I won't do anything to my makeup for the rest of the day now. Even if it like looks a bit rubbish towards the end of the day, I'll just leave it. But moving on to my next favourite, it is this, and again this is something that I bought before we went on holiday because I was looking for something that was lighter that I could wear in the evenings, because I do really enjoy getting dressed up on holiday. There's something about it for me, like coming in, I had a little routine when we were away, and we were at all inclusive, but we bought like some drinks to have back in our room when we first got there, like drinks for the kids at night and stuff, and you know, like if anyone was thirsty, a water, and like we had like some fizzy drinks and stuff like that, some beers. And then when we were there at the shop picking a few bits, I noticed they had Buzzballs, and they had some flavours that I'd never had before, and one of them was the strawberry Rita one. Actually that is another favourite of mine, because I will see them sometimes in the shops locally now, and on a Friday night I've taken just to buying one and like having it at home like later on in the evening, because it takes me back to like this memory. So I will insert a picture of the one that I really personally like, and it's absolutely out of my normal preference for drinks. I'm not a super sweet person, but it is just like, they're quite punchy, they're quite pungent, and they're good fun. But I would get the strawberry Rita red Buzzball. I would have a shower, I would go and sit outside with my little mirror, and I would do my makeup out on our little like patio area. And we'd do that every single night with Daisy. Daisy would come out, she would like chill on her iPad for a bit, we would like just chat, or sometimes we'd listen to music, and I'd do her hair and stuff, and then sometimes we'd film a little outfit of the day. It was really cute. Really enjoyed that whole like sort of, it was like a little routine every evening. It was so good, and I really wanted a base that I could wear that would work well with like a tanned face, and would be light and wouldn't just make me feel like, you know, when it melts off you. So we ended up picking, on a complete whim, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. It's a mineral tint, it's water resistant for up to 80 minutes, and it's SPF 50, which is, I personally think, absolutely fantastic. This is what it looks like, if it's going to focus, I don't know if it is, and I have the shade medium neutral number 8. However, I do wonder if as I get into the winter months, as it may start to get too dark for me. I mean, it's looking quite good at the moment, and I haven't fake tanned or done anything like that for absolutely ages, but it is heavy on the glow. It is a Halo Glow product. It is glowy. I would say if you're very oily, you might struggle to get to grips with it initially. And it will require some setting. I use my Huda Beauty setting powder, but they're huge and it lasts ages. But it has the most wonderful, like really healthy, fresh, vibrant look to the skin, I think. And it's very natural looking. And I really enjoyed it on holiday, and I really enjoyed it since. I love the fact that it has built-in SPF. I think that's brilliant. Obviously, I've not really needed to test it for how waterproof it is, because I don't personally wear makeup during the day on holiday. I'd rather just let my skin breathe. But I've really loved it, and it's such a fantastic little find, and I would definitely repurchase that again. So I think when it runs out, I can't see why I wouldn't go for this again, unless, you know, I go back to something else or something takes my fancy. But I've really enjoyed that. I think it's really good. And then this, I don't know if I've shared this before, and I'm sorry if I have, but again, it's just been something that I've regularly used, and it's the LYS, I think that's how you say it, like contour stick, and it's in the shade Harmony. I mean, obviously it looks very well used, but I'm actually curious to see how much I've got left. So I've been using this for ages now, and all of that product there looks like there's hardly any left, but it will last me so long, because oh my god, is this stuff pigmented. I use a little like quite densely packed brush, and I will like dab it on at the end, and I will literally dab. I will gently dab, and then I will stipple it onto the face and like blend it in. But it's it's scary how pigmented it is. It's lasted me ages. I've been getting on with it really well. You do need to work on blending it. Some people get this and bloody draw it on their face. I don't know how they're doing that with how pigmented it is. Personally, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But it's so good. It really good, and it lasts ages, because I find contour sticks like this normally, they run out so quickly, but that one, it's like never ending. I mean, it'll probably last me until January, to be honest. That was on my PT faves. I feel like I've rambled for ages onto those. So the next two things are just like little household ones, just because I've really enjoyed using them. And the first one is the Febreze Spice Apple. I've been using this for so many years now, and I feel like over the years they maybe might have tweaked the packaging or the name or something, but this smell just straight away, when I buy one again every season, I am taken right back to like the festive season, Christmas time. I pretty much use it from like September onwards, because I feel like a spicy apple scent is just synonymous with like the colder months anyway. I think it lends itself so well to like autumn as it does winter, but I can't get enough of it, and it just smells so nostalgic to me. And I think I've spoken in the past about like how my grandma always has this potpourri from M&S, and again, every time I smell that, I'm taken back to a time of like being a kid and smelling like that's just what Christmas at her house smelled like. So for me, this is kind of started to become the same thing but at my house. But what is really funny, if I smell it after like New Year, I'm like, oh God, no, get it away from me. It's really weird. I think it's only because New Year can be so hard anyway that I don't like being like reminded of what is now gone. Like I just like to, I then start to just sort of find myself looking forward. But it's, at this time of year, I cannot get enough of it. In fact, this is pretty much nearly empty. Oh, look at it. It's not really giving me anything. It's an excuse to go and get another one later, I think, but I absolutely love that. And I feel like if you've not had it before, you're looking for a nice homey smell, I can really recommend that one. I've just really been enjoying it. The next thing, I featured this in a few videos recently, and I've just used it again today, and I just really like this. I don't understand how it works, but it is really good. It's that fairy skip the soak again, and I've done it all on my oven trays. You know how they get a bit greasy and gross, and you can wash them with like normal fairy liquid, which again, I just buy fairy liquid. I won't buy any other because it does last longer. Do you know those, I swear it was something, I don't know if they did an advert when we were kids and it was a joke, in combination with like kind of like Blue Peter, how like kids with fairy liquid could never do the Blue Peter craft things because Mum's fairy liquid was never finished or something, because it lasts so much longer. Genuinely does. It genuinely does. I used to buy cheaper bottles all the time because it's so much thinner. I would just go through it so much more quickly. Anyway, I'm like a fairy stan. But this stuff is so good for like stubborn things, which when you're cooking more, I find at this time of year, you're needing like stews and roasting things and stuff gets stuck on your trays. I've really liked it. And I just think it's so good. It is quite potent though, I find, but it does the job. And then the next thing, I've talked about this so many times, but I just love it so much, and I cannot stop buying it, and it's this. I've even bought a glass because when I got it out, it's making me salivate now. I got it out of the fridge before to bring it in, and the second I saw it, my mouth was like, we need some of that in our life. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I keep it in the fridge. It's always ice cold. Obviously it's better for me than like just drinking copious amounts of Diet Coke, which is what I used to do. One more, need to hydrate myself. That's honestly how it makes me feel. I'm borderline obsessed with it. I have to always have it in the house. And one of my things with, sorry, I feel like I've drank that much, so it's gonna make me want to burp, which is really not attractive. One of the things when I started like working on getting healthier and stuff like that was that I really like was looking at like drinks and stuff that I was drinking. Like, my habit throughout the day was just like constantly just drinking coffee, which is fine if that works for you, but for me personally, A, I have anxiety, and it was clearly fueling that. B, obviously from a calorie perspective, which, let's be honest, like if you are wanting to like lose weight, get fitter, get healthier and stuff, you do need to start looking at stuff like that eventually. I definitely didn't at the beginning. I started more with exercise, which did kickstart me, but like, you know, if you're having like a few coffees a day, and I don't personally add sugar or syrup really, unless I buy a coffee somewhere, you know, like a special limited edition one or whatever from Starbucks. But it really starts to add up. And it also, I just felt like it actually wasn't making me feel all that good. It wasn't making me feel all that good to have all that like milk in my tummy all the time, even though I have coconut milk. And I felt like that was one issue. Another issue was like cutting down on drinking like alcohol and stuff. I'm normally pretty good anyway with that, like not drinking too much during the week and things like that, and keeping it more towards the weekend. Obviously there's an exception if you're going out or you're having a particularly bad day. But I was trying to look at things that I could drink that also weren't just like Diet Coke or, you know, like just fizzy drinks all the time. And this was something that I think I just bought on a whim because I really liked it and liked the sound of it, and then it just consistently went from there. I can't even remember the first time I got it, but now I always have it in the house. It is so refreshing, and I'm literally its biggest fan. Its biggest fan. And I think as well, if you're wanting to like correct habits or just like look after yourself a bit better, just work on finding something that you really, really enjoy drinking that's going to keep you hydrated, because the more hydrated you are, the better you're going to feel, the better you're going to focus, you're going to flush out toxins from your body. It also, like a lot of the time, I find helps me realise that I wasn't hungry, I was just really flipping thirsty and dehydrated. And I just absolutely love that stuff. I'm sorry, I know that's so boring. People do favourites with like all these fantastic things, and then you've got me sat here like, so I like this kitchen spray and I like my strawberry water. The next few favourites that we're getting on to are like more entertainment though, so it's a little bit more interesting. The first one, Wednesday. I have absolutely loved watching this with Bill. We've watched like all the series and I cannot wait for the next ones to come out. We've said like when the next one comes out, potentially depending on like how old the kids are, we'll all watch it and we'll like revisit the old series and stuff like that, because it is so good. And I feel like, to be honest, Daisy and Stan would love it anyway, apart from the fact that like some bits are a little bit like scary. Did it scare you then? I'm sorry, I read it. But it's so good, and we really enjoyed it as like a little sort of like thing that we do together. And we watched the first like release of it in August when they released like the first few episodes, and then the second part in September. And I just think it's so good, and it's one of those that, because the Addams Family is something that I remember from being younger, it's like really nice to sort of share that with my child, so to speak. And actually one of my Halloween costumes when I was little was Wednesday, and it's just, we have also like, we had a rat called Wednesday, and then we also now have a rat called Enid from the series, and it's a really, really good watch. I find it so exciting. I think the cast is incredible, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's one of those that when it finishes, I'm like, oh god, it wasn't even long enough. And I think if you've not watched it yet, you're so lucky to be able to sort of watch it in October, because it's like the perfect month to start it, given, you know, the season and all that. But we've really, really enjoyed it, and I cannot tell you enough. It's so good. And then the next favourite is one that I kind of just happened upon when I was at the gym. So when I'm at the gym, I do enjoy listening to music sometimes, but then I also find that with music, because I've got a very, very busy brain and it's very anxiety led, like I'm always thinking, I'm always stressing about like so many things that go around in my brain. And sometimes with music, if I'm not really focused on it, I can start doing that. And when I exercise, that's not what I want for myself. When I exercise, I want to feel like just completely clear-headed. I want to be focused on what I'm doing, and I found a lot of the time watching a series is actually quite good. I don't prefer films quite as much, but series just really work for me. And I'd run out of what I was watching, and I was a bit like, oh shit, I don't know what to pick. And normally I will pick before I go, so I'll pick the night before and find something that I think will work. And you know, I've spoken about Fat Friends. I really enjoyed that whole series. I thought it was fantastic. I also enjoyed Black Doves. I've shared that on here before. So I was having to scroll, like a panic scroll right there on the machine, and I just picked one called College Friends. It's 2 series long. I don't know if they're going to add another because it ended on a cliffhanger, but it was really easy to watch, and I found it funny. I really enjoyed like the character progression. I really enjoyed that the characters weren't all perfect. Like they were all really likable, but there were things about them, like the mistakes they've made or choices they've made, or like they were a little bit annoying in parts. But I would say as well, they're probably a similar age to me, where they were like, I would say late 30s, possibly early 40s, probably more early 40s, and they've been friends since college. And it's just been a really good watch. So if you're wanting something to watch that's quite like easy to dip your toe into, and I think also it'd be quite a good couple watch if you're wanting to watch sort of like a comedy type thing. It's like funny but like a drama at the same time. And I can really recommend that. I thought it was really good. I think that is, oh no, my final favourite. Sorry, this video has been all over the place. I think it's just because I've not done one in such a long time, and I clearly just want to chat today. I have been listening, I'm going to get it on this. So when I finished College Friends on Netflix, I didn't realise that I'd finished it because it ended on a cliffhanger, and I went to press next episode. There was no next episode button. I was fuming and I panicked. I was like, what else am I going to listen to for the rest of the day? And I was going to go for music, but I still had like 30 minutes left of my workout. So I was like, I don't really feel like music today. So when I was on Spotify, because I was having a quick like scroll as I was going on the cross trainer like this, like dying. I have Spotify Premium, which gets abused fully by many a family member. But this came up as a suggestion because you can listen to audiobooks on there. It's Wild Love by Elsie Silver, but I'm listening to it as an audiobook while I'm working out, and it's actually doing the trick because with this, because there's no tune or anything, and you kind of get lost in like music sometimes, and like you stop concentrating on it because it's just like easy listening. This, I have to concentrate on it while I'm working out. So again, it stops all that like brain noise. And I've just got to the dirty bit. Like it's only even a kiss as well, but it's like, okay. So it's going to be interesting listening to this in the next, you know, few days while I hopefully finish it off, because whew. But I will say it's been really good so far, and I think there's a series of 4. Everybody's talking about it on social media, and I feel like I'm actually quite timely. I've just really enjoyed it, and I've been getting into reading more since like I went away on holiday. I always go through phases and tend to read more when it gets to this stretch of the year. So maybe I'll read the other books, or maybe I'll keep listening to them, but I just had to share that because I am really liking it. I don't know what that says about me, but I'm here for it. But yeah, that is all of my favourites. So I'm going to stop talking now because I'm running out of battery and I'm running out of memory. But yeah, I'm going to love you and leave you, and have a lovely rest of your day.